I'm trusting the Lord that the Lord will grant us men that will stand in gap, even for this nation all the time. And men that will be able to confront injustice at every level. The level of the injustice is increasing day by day. Before we slept, and we were hearing one kind of report. They called it report gist of the day. And they were saying there are 600 and something thousand persons that are in the prison that are honestly waiting to be taken to court, to go and tried. And up till now, they are still there. And there was this man that they interrogated, that they interviewed rather, and he was talking about his 14 years experience in prison. For what? It was the day he appeared after almost 10 years that he had been kept in prison. It was the day he appeared in the court that he knew his offense. You know what that means? He had been in that prison for many years without knowing what he did. That was when I saw the face of Adeoye's Funke yesterday. She was among the panelists that were talking about it and so on and so forth. Up behind the bar. And the man was saying he was actually taking his bus from here to Kano. And they got somewhere. The policemen were asking for necessary things. Where is your custom duty, this and that? And his boss said, it's not your duty to be asking for such. And they transported them down to this Kennekan Square, the police, this anti-theft square or something like that. And they were locked up. And that was where his boss died. His boss died in the prison some days after he was locked up. And who then will speak for him? There's nobody again. And he was there for nothing. He was doing his work. He said he's a driver, but this man just asked him to come and drive him down to that place. And that was how he spent almost 10 years, or 14 years in the prison. He said it was the day he appeared in the court that he knew his offense. And he was saying that there are so many people like that behind the bar. And there are so many people that they will just release, even when they have done something terrible. It's a matter of knowing someone that is influential. That is the rate of the injustice in our land. And it cuts across every sphere. I am just trusting the Lord. You see, this matter of justice we are talking about, we will be praying to God that the Lord will raise every one of us to be an agent of justice anywhere we find ourselves. It actually begins with us. However, the matter that the Lord is asking us to raise tonight over the injustice is, the state of our nation is biblical. And I'm trusting the Lord that the Lord will raise men like Abraham from among us, that will be able to stand before God and intercede for our dear nation always. Many had given up over this nation. And sincerely speaking, when you hear things that are happening, I was told that the family of those people that were kidnapped around this place and they killed the 2 children, you remember here, not too far here, the moment they heard that their children had been killed and all those things, they assumed that there is no hope again in this nation. They relocated instantly. And they said, God forbid that they will still come back to this land. Evil is everywhere. we will not only be praying unto God tonight that He should only rescue us from evil. Because the rate at which those evil ones are sending people to hell, that is the angle I want us to look at it. What do you think will be the aftermath of someone that did not know Jesus, and they just attack and kill? That is the angle I want us to look at it. Because we are looking at it from the perspective of heaven matters. They must not just be wasted on earth and still end up in hell. That is the reason why we must not give up and we must not stop praying unto God. So our intercessory prayer tonight is heaven focused. You could imagine, I wouldn't know, I heard it, I think you posted such a thing about the bomb blast. Excuse me, the number of people that have been dying in bomb blast, are they only Christians that has hope of heaven? Is it only the Christians that have been dying in the bomb blast? You know, if the Christian died in such a situation, we say there is hope. What of people that has no Jesus? And you know, the Lord will have mercy on us. And that is the reason why you must intercede. That righteousness of the Lord will touch every quarter of this nation. We don't know how He will do it. He is the only one that knows how He will go about it. I was asking myself, what was Abraham pleading before the Lord over the life of the people of Sodom and Gomorrah for? Does he actually need to still be pleading and be begging God for? I saw a man that had the heart of no. These people must not just be wasted like that. And you know, the scripture gave us the record that if he tarried long in the presence of the Lord, don't forget the book of Genesis chapter 18. The scripture says, when the men got up to leave, that is verse 16. Genesis chapter 18, verse 16. When the men got up to leave, they looked down towards Sodom. And Abraham walked along with them to see them on their way. And Abraham, we have prayed that the Lord will secure us. The Lord will protect us. We will not die. We will live to testify to the goodness of the Lord. And if the Lord, since the Lord will be sparing our lives, one of our responsibilities is to be interceding for people around us. So we discovered that Abraham had a walk with God. Do we see that? He was a man that would walk with God. He was a man that walked with them. When the men got up to leave, they looked down towards Sodom, and Abraham walked along with them to see them on their way. Then the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Abraham will surely become a great and powerful nation, and all nations on earth will be blessed through him. For I have chosen him so that he will direct his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just, so that the Lord will bring about for Abraham what he had promised him. Then the Lord said, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great, and their sins so grievous, that I will go down and see if what they have done is as bad as outcry that has reached me. If not, I will know. Then the men turned away and went towards Sodom. But Abraham remained standing where? Before the Lord. Abraham remained standing before the Lord. Then Abraham approached him and said, will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous persons in the city? Will you really sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous people in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to kill the righteous with the wicked, treating the righteous and the wicked alike. Far be it from you. Will not the judge of all earth do right? The Lord said, if I found 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake. Then Abraham spoke up again. Now that I have been so bold as to speak up to the Lord, though I am nothing but the dust and ashes, I could get 10 persons. I will spare. I will spare. However, the scripture says, when the Lord, verse 33, when the Lord has finished speaking with Abraham, he left, and Abraham returned home. It is not time for us to return home over this nation. It is time